Hey guys, I just finished one of my live Q&As in my monthly membership, and I felt really inspired to share some of what we talked about with you. I want to talk about the fear of enmeshment and the fear of abandonment and how that pattern can keep us stuck. Watch this video. Welcome if you're new to my videos, and if you're a seasoned watcher of my videos, welcome back. As you guys know, I call myself the Wounded Healer because I've had to go through so many of the things that I discuss, and as a spiritual coach, I get to go deeper into your things as well. I was born with high sensitivity and this ability to have insight in a way that a lot of people like. A lot of people feel like, whoa, how did you get to that? So I want to take that ability for you today and go into the enmeshment, abandonment structure. It's interesting. People always ask me, like, how does this even happen to me? What is this about? It's a fear of being your true self. I mean, it sounds weird, right? When you really think about it, but many of us are, this is what I was talking about in the beginning of my session this morning. Many of us, because of evolution, because of the consciousness on our planet, I call it the collective consciousness, because of that, our parents and their parents were not taught emotional intelligence in a way that is necessary for us to really, in my opinion, navigate this current world society, but also reach our fullest potential as souls having a human experience, or divine beings having a human experience. Many of us are conditioned to think we are humans that sometimes have a spiritual experience, but in my experience, it's actually the opposite. When we can see our true self, when we can start to connect with this understanding that you are powerful in your energy, in your thoughts, in your ability to heal yourself in many ways, when you can start to see that and you can start to sort of tune into this collective that's going on that's supporting us at all times, we can start to remember who we are, and we can start to process a lot of these emotional things, a lot of these patterns in a new way that allows us to have the tools to stay on track with who we truly are instead of being afraid of it, instead of running into the fear of enmeshment or fear of abandonment, which in my opinion is a fear of intimacy. Into me you see, true self-intimacy of saying, gosh, those things I deemed as bad or not good enough as a kid, because in our society we're taught that's right, that's wrong, that behavior means you're bad, that behavior means you're going to get a prize. You know, punishment reward system, we have that in school, we have that everywhere. And as kids, when we're really young and we don't really know how to compartmentalize things, we feel like our behavior or our goods and bads and rights and wrongs are a reflection of our worth, our self, our identity. And so there's a lot of people walking around in this world that have been labeled things, that are on medications for things, that are feeling like this is what's broken in me, this is what's wrong with me. But you know, a lot of you email me about my idea of mental health, and I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not a licensed therapist. I am a healer and a coach, and my opinion about it is very specific, but it's just my opinion. And my opinion about a lot of these cases is that we make it worse by thinking that this is what's broken or wrong with myself and I need a pill to cure it. Now, that does help a lot of people because they have a label and a name to something. We're like, oh my God, I'm not crazy, I have this. And that can be helpful. I want to talk about the times it's not helpful. When people are sort of walking around thinking there's something wrong with me, that's why I act this way or why I feel this way. In my opinion, that piece needs to be shifted. Even if you are being medicated and being helped in that way and having a label that works for you, I still think it's very helpful to think this isn't what's broken or wrong with me. It's what needs to be healed. It's what, in a way, is just different. It's what, in a way, needs a different set of coping mechanisms so that I can be my better self. But I think a lot of times we get stuck in this idea that that's what's bad or wrong with me. Even, you know, if I'm unsuccessful in a career, oh my God, there must be something bad or wrong with me. This bad or wrong with me idea is what seeps into us and doesn't allow us to become the full version of self. So we have abandonment fears. We have enmeshment fears. What's enmeshment? Enmeshment is someone's going to take me, my identity. I'm going to lose myself in someone. What's abandonment? I'm going to be who I truly am and someone's going to leave me. So both of them are keeping me away from my true self or sharing or being my true self. One, I'm afraid I'm going to be totally in myself, but I don't have boundaries around it, so someone's going to take that. One is I'm afraid to be myself because they might not like me and then I'll reject myself too. So I feel like the sort of, let's say, go-to way to really start integrating these fears and not letting them have power over us. If you guys watch my Instagram or you watch my videos, you know that I'm in this cycle right now of talking about things having power over us. And I guess the reason I also brought up mental illness that people ask me about a lot is I just don't like that having power over you. Oh my God, this is my identity, I have mental illness. If that helps you and says, oh my God, I have this, that's why I act this way, or physical ailment, or whatever it is for you. You guys ask me a lot about mental stuff. But if that works for you and it helps you see yourself more positively, awesome. If it makes you think that's what's broken and wrong, I just want to reiterate this. That is what keeps us away from ourselves, is thinking there is something bad about who we are, that someone else is either going to reject, and then we're going to agree with them and reject and abandon ourselves and have a bunch of fear, which I'm going to talk about in a second, or I'm going to give that up and I'm going to meld into somebody else and lose myself. That's also not a truth, because who we truly are never leaves. It's here. And we have a boundary around that. And we see that the thing we're actually afraid to leave or lose is our false self, the thing that we thought we had to be. That thing can go, but who you truly are doesn't ever leave you. It is you. It can't be taken or affected. It can be, you know, we can give our power away to things and assign our power, or people can overwhelm us because we think we love them more than we love ourselves because we're projecting onto them the thing that we should be owning. But we can never lose this. What I like to help people do is anchor it so it's really, really strong. And so one of the ways we do that is when you're in the face of abandonment or in the face of enmeshment. I was just telling one of my clients earlier, you have to sit in that experience instead of fight, flight, or freeze, because what happens with this, our trigger is fear, right? Fear is the absence of love, absence of true self. It's what we had to protect ourselves, but now it's actually not protecting us at all. So when that fear comes up and you notice what you do when that fear comes up, what do you do? Because me personally, my thing, when fear comes up, I run. I'm like, where can I escape to? Well, up until now, where can I escape to? What's gonna save me? What's gonna be better? I gotta get away, this is not safe. That was my coping mechanism. And so what I learned to do within that coping mechanism, if you have a similar one, this will probably serve you well, is instead do the counterintuitive thing and sit there. Do not move. It seems crazy, it seems scary, it seems like powerless at the time, but it's not, because what you're doing is you're saying, I'm giving myself the space to know that I can handle this, to know that this might just be an emotion, not a truth. This might just be an idea, not a reality. If you're in a situation where you're not going to be safe, like literally physically not safe, please leave. I'm talking about the emotional thing. Okay, this thing is triggering me, I'm gonna get out. What I trained myself to do is to sit in. Sit in myself, not abandon myself or the situation, because when you do that, you're giving it power. Now you have power over me. You don't. I'm gonna sit in myself. And maybe the feelings will be too overwhelming, so I'm gonna have structured healing. I'm not going to allow that to overwhelm me either, because my emotions don't have power over me. And you have to tell yourself this. If they do, please get help or work with someone on this. Don't do this alone. Please don't. I'm talking about those of you who are like me, or a version of me, what I'm talking about, where you feel stuff and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to leave, but I could probably stay. Stay. What do you feel when you sit in it? Wow, it doesn't have power over me. I don't have to escape. Nothing bad's going to happen. But a lot of us feel like we get our power from being like, screw you, I'm out, or I'm going to leave this situation, or that doesn't work for me. That's also ego. It doesn't really feel powerful. It feels like you just ran from something. So let's be honest with ourselves, right? Get real about how we feel so we can heal. This thing makes me want to run. This thing makes me want to freeze. This thing makes me want to fight. But I'm not going to do any of those things. I'm going to sit in this thing and notice that when I just sit, I get my power because I'm in my presence. Try it. I don't have a fear of being abandoned because I'm not going to abandon myself. I don't have a fear of being enmeshed because I'm sitting here with myself. Ooh. I don't have to give my power away to people and what I think they're going to do or think or feel about me. What am I doing to keep my power right now? And all that means is staying in yourself, being present, calm, relaxed in the face of something that makes you not want to be that. You're not going to react. And it's not even really responding. It's just being. I'm just going to be. I was telling a story of something that happened to me a week ago. It's actually a good example, so I'll share it with you. I was at a dinner party, my own actually, and there was someone there that was getting drunk and acting out. And I could tell the energy of the room was kind of noticing it. It wasn't feeling very comfortable. And instead of staying, instead of reacting, instead of doing anything, I removed myself. I went into the other room and I took a moment and I was like, I don't really have to do anything other than just be with myself and realize that this isn't my deal. This isn't my scene. I'm just going to relax and breathe for a minute and see maybe something smart will come to me of how to deal with this. Well, within a very short matter of time, I looked outside and I noticed people had left that situation and congregated into their own groups. There was a lot of eye contact, like, not for me, let's go talk. And new friends were being formed. And this guy didn't do anything. He kind of just melded into realizing that, you know what, this isn't working. I don't even know. I think he was sitting by himself somewhere. I don't know, but it worked out well where the energy dispersed and it didn't become a thing. It just started to harmonize in a new way. And I think sometimes when we take our presence, it almost engenders a participation for others to do that too and say, you know what feels good? I'm going to go over here and I'm talking to this person. And he was probably like, let me take a minute by myself. And everything stayed good because I didn't fight, flight, or freeze, and no one else did either. And when we don't do that, we don't allow fear to have our power, but we sit in our presence instead, our fear of abandonment and enmeshment kind of gets less because we're not doing either one to ourselves. We're sitting in ourselves. We're not getting enmeshed with someone else or afraid of that, and we're not being abandoned by anyone or ourselves and being afraid of that. We're just chilling. So I hope this helps a little bit. There's many different levels to this. This is just a, simple go-to that I like to do in the past and what I like to teach people. I hope that helps a little bit. Please check the links below. I love communicating with you guys on social media, so if you're not on my Instagram, please go down there and click it and I'll follow you back. And also check the links because every Friday now at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I am doing a live Q&A in my monthly membership, Truth Room Tribe. Check all of it below. Love you guys, and I hope to see you soon.